Oh yeah, we back with another episode here on the Twisted T2, baby. Would we like to read these Reddits? Well, to you. And in case you cheating and reading the screen, well, we have a lady saying a shitty asshole because she refused to cover up her tattoos for her boyfriend's family dinner. Now, let's get to diving. Okay. It seems they've already said that they not the A. So, 21-year-old female who has several tattoos, some big and very visible. Their boyfriend is 26. And guess what? When they met and liked each other, well, the boyfriend didn't have a problem with it. And he probably still doesn't have a problem with it. He invited me to go to dinner with his family, and I accepted. But he casually mentioned, maybe could you wear something with long sleeves? Just so that we don't start any drama. I asked what he meant, and he said, well, my grandparents are very old school and might not react well to the tattoos. He said he didn't want the night to be awkward. I told him I wasn't gonna hide myself to make his family more comfortable. He said it's not about hiding, it's about respect. I told him respect, well, it goes both ways. And I shouldn't have to pretend to be someone I'm not. He got upset and said, well, that I was overreacting and making this a bigger deal. Y'all know I can't read and see the screen, so give me a second. And making this a bigger deal than it is. I told him that I would go, but I'm not covering up. Oh yeah. He turned to me and he said, well, if you don't want to cover up, that's fine, but please don't attend if you're going to be difficult. I'd rather you just not be there. It really rubbed me the wrong way. It made me feel confused because I think maybe I did behave badly and I shouldn't have reacted I shouldn't have reacted like that to the idea. I don't want to cause drama with his family, but I have had a hard time feeling comfortable in my skin and learning to deal with the stigma people have towards me because of my tattoos. Oh yeah. And I don't want to go back to hiding it again. Plus, I don't think I would be honest with his family either if I show myself not as myself. So, am I the A for refusing to cover up my tattoos during dinner? Okay. Now, interestingly enough, all right, Irvana, Vibe, 08. Yeah, so it's a messy situation, I'm going to say, and I'm going to say that it's not that you're being an asshole about the situation, but you are being a little difficult, okay? Some people may not agree with what I'm about to say, but I will say that, look, if you truly, really liked this person and or love this person, 2 hours with a shirt on wouldn't kill you. Okay? I'm just saying, 2 hours with a shirt on would not kill you. And technically, wouldn't you rather communicate with them and get them to like you for you and who you are and not what they see from the outside? You know what I'm saying? So I get it. People are very much looked at. Look, it's a brand new society and people have tattoos all over the place, right? But there are certain industries and certain businesses where they ask you to cover them up because it doesn't look professional. Now, obviously you're not in that, but you are going to a dinner with his family where he might have 90-year-old grandparents and go, well, we just don't approve of that, right? And granted, he's already approved of you and could care less about how they feel about it, but he definitely wants to make sure that you all's initial meeting will be a smooth one. Because if they can like you for you first, right, and not the exterior of things, then they will learn to just grow and be like, well, that's Irvana Vibe. That's Irvana Vibe, right? And they won't have a problem with it. But you're not even giving that option, right? Now, the other thing is, what if they weren't old school and he was just saying this to see what you would say, right? Now, I understand you feeling as though you're not comfortable in your skin, which is probably why you have the tattoos to begin with. right? And that isn't something that he's going to be able to fix. And it's not something his grandparents are going to be able to fix. That's something that you on the inside have to fix and be comfortable with oneself. That starts with you, all right? Now, if I was in this situation, I would probably feel like you, but I'm not going to lie. I'd probably just throw on a shirt and keep it moving, because as you get older, you start to realize this is pettiness. This is childish, right? And this can cause your whole relationship to end just as fast as it started, because it shows that for his family, you're not willing to make any sacrifice, right? And this has nothing to do with like your actual morals, right? And your standards to life. This is your appearance, okay? And I get it. You're over here trying to figure out, oh, well, these people treat me differently because of my tattoos. Well, how was the feeling before? Because clearly before you got the tattoos, you were looking for attention, or you wouldn't have got them. I'm just saying. Now, do I think you're an asshole about the situation? A little bit, right? Do I feel like he's an asshole in this situation? Not really, because he's already expressing to you what his family is, how his family is going to react. And he knows that. So to avoid the situation, he goes, let me do this to avoid that. I want to make peace in all places so I don't have to deal with it. Here you go, you little tornado, and you're on your way to create the havoc. Now, we're going to dive into these comments. So my final conclusion to this on whether or not I feel as though you are the asshole, like I said, you're not a major asshole, but there is a small piece of your young ignorance inside there that one day you'll figure out that this, especially if this person turns out to be the person for you, you're going to wish that you just said fuck it and threw them sleeves on. Now, let's dive into some of these comments and see what some of the people have to say and, well, who they think is the A. All right. I don't think anybody is the A here. This just seems that your values do not align on this issue. He values not rocking the boat, and you value your individual expression. There's also the expectation that if his family starts saying nasty things to you, it's his duty as the bridge between them and you to defend you and handle that conflict. Damn, you already making some good points. And handle that conflict, which is a form of labor he might not be ready, willing, or able to do at this point. I suggest you both sit down, explain what needs are and are not being met, and find some way to honor both your perspectives. It might be that you covering tattoos for the first time you go, and then don't covering them after a certain period of time, either after the first meeting or after the first set of numbered of meetings. It might mean you covering those tattoos, but find some time in the night to show them up and bring them up. This is the perfect thing to practice compromise and communication. You know, you make a good point there, all right? But again, even this person states, on your first and initial visit, just do what your boyfriend asks. Make it easy on us all. Great points, with the added note that it could also be the perfect time to realize you're not right for each other. Ding, ding, ding. Oh, this is from somebody who actually has tattoos too. I have full sleeves, flam, flam. Been in this situation several times. And well, I've got both ways with it. Okay. With the wisdom of experience and age, I just cover it up. Not your partner's fault. His grandparents are narrow-minded and nothing he can do to change it. How much time do you expect to spend with them once? Oh, I'm pretty sure they meant while they're still alive. Not the A. Neither of you. But you do deservedly want to fight. Oh, but you desperately want to fight this one. If you win, he has to put up with their shit. Why bother? Doesn't achieve anything. How much do you really need them to know you have tattoos? You know, that's another good question. Does it really matter? You know? you speak wisdom. There are so many battles in life that you could fight and win, and even arguably be on the right side of. But there's wisdom in realizing what you win really isn't worth the collateral headaches. This is Reddit though, where the general vibe is, look, there's more crosswalks, so you have the right to cross. How dare you imply I'm not exercising my rights by crossing in front of the controlled system semi? I also think it speaks to the boyfriend's values, that he's actively introducing the partner to the family that he wants as best as possible, an impression to be made. Given that your head's up, he's giving you your heads up in advance that the folks are old school is a step not a lot of people bother with and even offer out to their partner. Just end up feeling judged and unwelcomed. I feel bad for the partner. He's just trying to set you up for success. You ain't lying about that. He is just trying to set you up for success. And like I said, and like a couple of us have said before, he's just trying to avoid the mess. Because why deal with it on the first initial time meeting? It don't make sense. It depends on how much you expect to interact with this family and how important it is to you that they respect you. I have 2 jobs, one in childcare, one in elder care. I cover my tattoos where I work with the elderly because me expressing myself or whatever isn't as important as making sure that client feels comfortable. I just don't care that much if they accept me for me, and it's all indoors, so I cover them. At my childcare job, however, I always make a point to wear short sleeves on interviews because I'll inevitably have to be at the park doing messy crafts, rolling up the sleeves or whatever. I'm not going to be physically comfortable for such a large portion of my life and just seize the opportunities for value around the tattoos. And when it comes to kids, I like to engage self-expression and acceptance where the elderly are where they are. And well, they're not very accepting. You can't do as much. You make a valid point here, okay? And like I said before, look, UDA, all right? UDA, all right? Not a huge A, but you definitely the A. And honestly, it really just comes down to whether or not you are willing to listen and take in what is being given for your advice. He is telling you these are the things that may happen if you choose to come to the family gathering unsleeved. And he don't want to deal with it. So do him a favor. And here's the thing. I don't know how many other issues you all may have, but judging this, if it comes down to, again, self-preservation, you are here only worried about your fucking self. And in a relationship, that's shitty. Which then creates you to be the asshole. Yeah, I want the rest of y'all to have yourselves an amazing day, okay? With that being said, feel free to leave what you leave in these comments below. Don't be shy now, all right? And we're going to take off. And we know that this person was a bit of an A, because what it really comes down to, if you want to skip all the other stuff, what it really comes down to is that last point. You're in a relationship and you're only focused on yourself. That's not cool. For those of you who took the time to get to the end of this video, thank you for tuning into another episode on the Twisted T2, where we like to bring these Reddits to you. Oh yeah, don't forget, when you out there, look left, look right, keep that head on a swivel, because not everybody has your best interests at hand. Peace out.